Hello and good evening and welcome to ACAC's Virtual College Fair. We're so happy to have you here this evening. I'm John, your facilitator for this event. Remember that during this time, your camera and microphone are off so we cannot hear or see you. In that place, we would love for you to use the Q&A button that's on your screen and put any questions up to us for any of our college reps that we have in this session. Also, don't forget there'll be other sessions going on this evening and also next evening as well. Please take advantage of these opportunities to find out more about great colleges around the country for sure. All right, so that's all I want to have to share for right now. I'm going to turn it over to our first representative for the evening, and it's going to be University of Toronto.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. My name is Courtney, and I'm part of the recruitment team at U of T, so thanks again for tuning in. As you might know, U of T is a network of unique communities at the heart of a dynamic and diverse region. There's no better place to be. So we're just going to take a few minutes to explore how our students can mix and match programs to build unique degrees and review a few admissions basics. So the University of Toronto is Canada's top-ranked university and Canada's flagship university for research and discovery. We're ranked in the world's top 20 year after year, in part because our campuses attract the best and brightest from all over the world. A lot of people know that insulin was discovered at U of T, but did you know that stem cell research started here too? The world's first nerve transplant, the world's first electronic pacemaker, and the world's first treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma. These are just a few of U of T's many contributions. We've produced Oscar winners, Olympic champions, prime ministers, Nobel laureates, and best-selling authors. This legacy of innovation is driven by the connections that we have with each other and with our neighborhoods and communities all across the Greater Toronto Area. The BBC once ranked Toronto as the world's most diverse city, and while there are lots of contenders for that title, we're certainly up there. In fact, over half of Toronto's population was born outside of Canada and speaks a language other than English. U of T is actually older than the city of Toronto, meaning that all of this wonderful diversity and richness has grown up around us. In fact, U of T was founded even before the country of Canada, all the way back in 1827. But other communities have called these lands home for far, far longer, and we wish to acknowledge the land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. Our central location in Toronto has also helped us to expand and grow to include 3 campuses, all within an hour of each other, offering the same top quality education. When you graduate, you'll earn the same U of T degree. The campus you choose makes no difference. So let's start with the U of T Mississauga campus to the west, which is about a half hour from downtown Toronto. It's a mid-sized campus with about 16,000 students, and it's located on 225 acres of green space. Many of the buildings are newly built, so it has a very modern feel. And U of T Mississauga offers programs in arts, science, and business, along with unique joint programs with Sheridan College. U of T St. George is our founding campus right in the heart of downtown Toronto, with 35,000 undergraduate students and a wonderful mix of Gothic buildings and glass and steel towers. U of T St. George is home to the Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape, and Design, the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering, the Faculty of Kinesiology and Physical Education, and the Faculty of Music, along with the Faculty of Arts and Science and its 7 colleges. Our third campus, U of T Scarborough, about a half hour east of downtown Toronto, is a mid-sized campus with about 15,000 students. It's located on over 300 acres of parkland in the Highland Creek Valley. In addition to offering programs in arts, science, and business, U of T Scarborough is our co-op campus, and it's a great place for students who learn best by doing. It's vital to us that every U of T student has not just a home base, but a team to support and cheer you on. Each of our campuses is home to a wide range of student supports, and our students take full advantage of these services. So much so that 91% of first-year students continue to second year, a higher rate than the provincial average. U of T students thrive because they're in charge of their own futures. When you start your degree at U of T, you can mix and match programs, certificates, and co-curriculars to build an experience that captures your unique passions and personality. U of T offers hundreds of programs and thousands of courses. Students can personalize their degrees by combining majors, minors, specialists, and certificates in different fields. We're all about choice. While certain specialized programs are unique to a campus, for example, forensic science at the Mississauga campus or journalism at the Scarborough campus, many of our programs are offered on all three campuses, so students can choose the setting they prefer. There are so many other ways too that you can really personalize your degree. You can build your co-curricular record, you can gain work experience through our co-op programs and professional experience year co-op program. You can take research courses or study on exchange at any of our 160 partner institutions across more than 40 countries. And you can get involved with any of 1,000 different student clubs, our 44 varsity level sports teams, or our intramural league. So if this is all sounding good to you, let's chat a bit about admissions and how you can get there. While I can't cover admission requirements for every program in the short time we have, I really encourage you to look at our online resources where you'll find all the answers and easy ways to connect with us. In general, we look for strong academic results in the last 2 years of high school, along with specific prerequisite courses depending on the program, and we are test optional for US applicants for fall 2022 entry. No matter what program you're applying to, all applicants are also automatically considered for merit-based awards. You can learn more about our largest international scholarship, the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship, by visiting the site you see here. And all students can use our handy Awards Explorer to find even more award opportunities. All right, that takes it to the end for me, very quick 6 minutes. Thank you again for your time. And I will go ahead and put the link for the Discover U of T site in the chat so that way you can find tours, webcasts, and more content from us on demand. Thank you and have a good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, University of Toronto. That was great information that you shared with us. Next, we're going to have University of Strathclyde.
Thanks, John. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'll just share my screen with you all just now. As you can probably tell from my accent, I am indeed Scottish. I am in Scotland at the moment, and I work for the University of Strathclyde, which is in Glasgow, the biggest city in Scotland. So a couple of facts then about our university. We were founded over 200 years ago in 1796. We were founded as a place of useful learning. So basically our founder wanted to make sure to instill the useful skills into our students that they could take out into the global environment. We are quite a large institution. We have approximately 23,000 students from over 100 different countries. And you can see some of the recent accolades that we have won over the past few years. We were Times Higher Education UK University of the Year in 2019, and we also won this award back in 2012, making us the only UK university to have won this award twice. We were also recognised as Scottish University of the Year. We won the Queen's Anniversary Prize last year for our energy innovation. This is one of the most prestigious prizes in our higher education sector. And even our students as well, they have ranked us 4th in the UK for student satisfaction. So we have ploughed a lot of investment into our teaching, research, facilities for students, and that certainly goes into why we've been recognised and why students really feel that they have great experience at our university. So where we are located then, as I mentioned, we're in Glasgow, the biggest city in Scotland. We're a downtown campus. We have lots of amenities around about. There is Glasgow International Airport, which is a 20-minute bus ride from our campus. Glasgow itself being the biggest city, it's a large shopping, just outside of London, actually. It's second to retail. If you've ever been to Glasgow or ever been to Scotland, I'm sure you'll testify that we are a pretty friendly nation, and we have been voted many, many times by different organisations as being the world's friendliest city. We're known for our music as well. We're known as the UNESCO City of Music. We usually have 120 different concerts and gigs and events per week. And great sporting venues as well, facilities. We've hosted a number of sporting events over the past few years as well, including the Commonwealth Games and the European Championships. And towards the end of this month, actually next week, we will be host to the COP26 Climate Change Conference, as I'm sure you're all very, very much aware of. And as I mentioned then, we're a downtown campus. The campus, it will take you about a 5 to 10 minute walk from one end of the campus to the other. These kind of green squares, as you'll see dotted about, they highlight the main bus and train stations. So we're about a 5 to 10 minute walk from those as well. You can easily get around the city. You don't need to get public transport, but we do have really good public transport available. And students always like the fact as well that they can use main bus and train stations and services to get to the major towns and cities in the UK. So Glasgow is really a great destination if you want to travel on a weekend or during vacation time. So we have ploughed a lot of investment into our campus over the past few years, and we're projected to invest £1 billion by 2025. We recently opened our new £31 million sports facility, our technology and innovation service, which works with industry and government as well. We host different conferences there. Our library, we have new state-of-the-art facilities and refurbished areas, and our new learning and teaching building, which opened just last month. This is going to be a one-stop shop for students. We have our student union based there. We have all of our international student support. My office is there as well, the international office, and various other things as well. It really is a great state-of-the-art building, and you can see that building actually on the bottom of your screen there on the right-hand side. Our links with the US, so we welcome over 100 US students at bachelor's, master's and PhD level each year. Our founder, John Anderson, was good friends with Benjamin Franklin. He used to accompany him on his visits to Scotland. And one of our alums, Scott Cooper, he was the first Scotland-born player to play for the NFL when he played for the Chicago Bears. So it's a really good, interesting and quirky links that we do have with the US. We have 4 faculties at Strathclyde, our Strathclyde Business School, faculties of Engineering, Science and Humanities and Social Sciences. And again, just a nod to our recent accolades, 23 of our subject areas were ranked in the top 10 in the UK. This includes most of our engineering programmes, our biomedical and biological sciences, social policy, humanities, a number of our business school programmes. And we're number 1 in the UK for accounting and finance, forensic science, and speech and language therapy. It's important to note when you come, if you are looking at a UK for study, Scotland is the exception where we have 4 years for your bachelor's. So the US system is modelled on the Scottish system. We have a number of programmes at Strathclyde where you can pick and choose different subjects in the first 2 years of study before you decide what you want to major in at the end of your second year. You can apply directly to us, or you can apply through the UCAS system, which is the UK system. We do have flexible entry criteria. We're test optional for 2020, and our tuition fees are posted here. We do have scholarships available. I'll post my contact details in the chat, and if anyone wants to get in touch with me later, they can do so. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, University of Strathclyde. Next, we're going to have University of Roehampton.
Thank you so much for that. I'll get my screen shared. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. My name is Amanda Lundberg, and I'm an international officer for the University of Roehampton, London. As you can hear from my accent, I am not in England currently, nor from there, although I do hold dual citizenship. But I did live in London for 12 years myself, and I'm excited to share with you why you should attend Roehampton in England. So we are considered London's campus university, which is unique amongst London universities. We are situated on a beautiful 54-acre parkland setting in Southwest London. We've been providing education for 180 years now, and we were the first college for higher education in the UK to educate women, which we're really proud of. We've been ranked as a top 10 university in London and re-ranked this year as the best modern university in London. So you can see here we have a diverse student population with over 12,000 students enrolled, of whom 28% come from outside of the UK and represent about 146 nationalities. 93% of our students are in employment or further study within 6 months of graduation. And we have 6 academic departments across 4 colleges, which we'll look at in just a moment. We're ranked 5th amongst London universities for student satisfaction. And something to note here too is that we are very much a research-led university. We're the #1 modern university in London for quality of research, and the most research-intensive modern university in the UK. So here you can see our proximity to central London. We're just down the River Thames from London's popular tourist attractions. We're very near Wimbledon, and we have Richmond Park, which is London's largest of the royal parks, in our back garden. Public transportation in London is fantastic, and you'll have a huge variety of buses and trams and tubes and trains to get around, but we also have a free university bus that will take you in and out of London and all over our little corner of the Southwest as well for free. So our campus is lush and green, as I've already mentioned, but with the proximity to central London, you really do get the best of both worlds, both city life as well as some peaceful nature. The university is comprised of 4 historic colleges, similar to other collegiate systems in the UK or the US, but we do like to consider ourselves the Harry Potter of Southwest London. Each college offers loads of great amenities such as sports facilities, gyms, cafes, and social spaces. And the colleges provide a fantastic community within the community at Roehampton. And of course, the Harry Potter reference is because they do play against each other in Quidditch each year. So our degrees are shorter than the ones in the US. As my colleague has mentioned, across England and Scotland, they're different lengths. So we do have 3-year programs. So you could have 2 degrees, an undergraduate degree as well as a postgrad, in the time it takes you to get 1 here in the US. These are the 6 academic departments. As you can see, we're adding several new courses for 2022 entry, and we're really excited about some of these. So a few things to note here: you can choose a single subject, or you can combine some of these with joint honors programs. With no general education in the UK, UK degrees are academically challenging. They can be quite rigorous, but they're absolutely rewarding, and you do end up with a specialized focus degree. So requirements are going to vary slightly from program to program, but very generally, we're going to be looking at your transcript, at your overall GPA. We're completely test optional and have been so since 2019, so before the pandemic. And some of our subjects, depending on if you're applying to life sciences, English, or creative writing, they will require a specific grade if you don't have APs in those particular subject areas. Otherwise, we'll be looking very generally at your transcript, and we do consider transfer students as well. So applying is super simple. You can either apply through UCAS, as my colleagues already mentioned, which is similar to the Common App. You can apply to 5 schools with 1 application, or you can apply online for free through our website. We have rolling admissions deadlines, so that means that there's not a hard deadline to apply. So the sooner you apply, the better. You'll have a decision within usually 2 to 3 weeks, but of receiving your complete application, and you can apply to either start in September or January. Right, so in terms of overall costs, we're very affordable, especially considering you're saving a year of tuition with our 3-year programs. We have numerous scholarships, one being the merit-based scholarship that you're automatically assessed for, and many of our US students do qualify for 1 or more of these. And typically students do also use FAFSA to apply for federal loans as well. So quick comment here on accommodation. We do guarantee accommodation for our international students, and we offer rooms for different types. So first-year students, continuing mature students, postgrad, etc. You do have a single occupancy bedroom, usually with either your own private bathroom or a semi-suite shared bathroom with a couple of others. And all of our flats do have shared kitchen facilities as well. So it's very much an independent lifestyle. And of course, we've got a lot going on campus, as I'm sure you probably expect. You'll have a fantastic experience no matter what you're into, whether you're looking for sports, if you want to play competitively or not, which we'll look at in a moment, want to be able to do some volunteering. If you care about sustainability on campus, we're really proud to be able to do that with all of our students and have them involved in that. And then of course, the nightlife in Central London is fantastic too. So just to say that there's something for everyone when you're on campus with us. But the most important piece here is that the ethos at Roehampton is based on social justice and equality. And we really are proud to put all of our students on an equal playing field. And speaking of playing fields, these are our competitive sports that we offer. You can play these socially or for fitness as well, if you wanted to just do it for fun. But the thing to note here is our new study play program, where we've partnered with the Premier League club Crystal Palace. They're a professional league soccer team in London. So you can train with them if you're a soccer player while you're getting your degree with us, which would be just a fantastic experience anyway. And that's it for me. So thank you so much for your time today. Feel free to scan any of these QR codes if you want some more information. Please do get in touch if you have any questions at all. And good luck with your college search.
Thank you, University of Roehampton. Next, we're going to have Universidad de las Américas, Puebla.
Hi, let me pull this up. All right. Good evening. Well, thank you for coming today. We are La Universidad de las Américas in Puebla, Mexico. We are about 2 hours south of Mexico City. We're a fully accredited school in the United States. The school was originally created in the 1940s in Mexico City for US citizens who were living in Mexico, but it was too difficult to get back and forth. So they created this university for their kids to kind of stay close by. And then in the 1970s, they created the Puebla campus, which is where our school is located, and it was now open to Mexicans as well. So it's always held the accreditation of the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. These are the different accreditations according to your major, right? One of the other things too is when you graduate at our college, our university, you'll get a bachelor's degree as well as a licenciatura and a cédula profesional. So you can have both worlds in one. All right, again, another one of our accreditations. We just got AA CSB accreditation for our business programs, and we are super excited about that. Our master's programs have all gone online as well. All right, so a little bit about our faculty. You can see the majority of them have come from top universities in the world, and mostly all of them are international in the sense that they speak English. All right, we have small class sizes, 20-1, student size, 24-1 is what we want, but we look more for a 20-1. Also, you can see the number of classes that we offer. Here, we're ranked a 5-star institution by QS Stars. We're the highest ranked private university in Mexico. We have state-of-the-art facilities. We want you to know that you will have the hands-on opportunity to be able to work in your field before you actually graduate. Because we are so close to Mexico City, a lot of companies have their headquarters in and around our area so that they can easily get back and forth to Mexico City to do the work that they need to do, as well as the port of Veracruz for things that are coming in and out of the port. This kind of shows you about our labs, how large we are. We're a very huge campus. We were gifted all of this land by the Jenkins Foundation. And so it has become more and more international throughout the years. We have 5 residential colleges, which are our dorms. We have Wi-Fi all over the campus. These are 200 exchange programs that we have throughout the world. So let me give you an example. If you want to study, let's say, engineering, and you want to work for Volkswagen. Well, Volkswagen is located in Puebla. We do make the cars, and every part of creating the car is done in Mexico. And then let's say that you want to go abroad and study in Germany at the headquarters of Volkswagen. So we work with them as strategic partners to be able to make that happen for you. So we have them, like I said, all over the world. These are some of our business partners, so you can see who you can work with. And these are only a few. These are some of the internships that we have. If you're into being on the news, or you want to know about publicity, you want to do journalism. All right. We have the largest private library in the nation. We do have scholarships and financial aid. So if you're a US student, you're automatically going to get some type of financial aid to be able to come. Now, our course our cost for the whole year is between $8,000 and $10,000. That's about $2,000 more than community college, and your living on campus includes room and board and your food. Now, to get a bigger scholarship, when you take your entrance exam, that's according to how you rank in that is how we determine how much of a scholarship you get. Let's say that you have a deep financial aid need at home. We do something called a home review, which is kind of like our FAFSA, but we do use your FAFSA as well. All right, we have academic tutorials, and we have preliminary course for students who need like something to help them get through certain courses. The majority of our courses are in Spanish, so you do need to have a good academic Spanish. We have over 52 bachelor degree programs. These are our different schools that we have throughout the university. And we have programs in everything you can imagine. Here they are. Our master's and doctoral programs. We also have different partnerships with community colleges here so that we can accept and transfer your community college hours to our institution for you to finish your 4-year degree. We do accept FAFSA. We have the access to that if needed. This gives you kind of a breakdown of our annual costs. You will divide by 12. All right, here is how you will apply. We're still accepting applications. You just go online and create your profile. If you need help with that, I'll give you my email in just a minute. You apply online. I send you a study guide to get started, and we get moving forward. Honestly, when we're looking for students at our college, we're looking for students who just want to get abroad, who want a different experience, who want to understand a different culture, and who are open to opportunities. We have a lot to offer you, and we'd love to hear from you. So if you need anything else, I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Universidad de las Américas. Next, we're going to have Duke Kunshan University.
Thank you for that introduction. Quickly share my screen. My name is Emily Gruby, and I am with Duke Kunshan University. This is a joint venture institution that Duke University here in Durham, North Carolina, opened in Kunshan, China. I know I don't have much time to talk with you guys today, so I do have a QR code on each of the slides that leads to our virtual event page that has an info session that's a little bit longer than 6 minutes, as well as our virtual campus tours and virtual application advice sessions. So definitely check those out. And again, it's the same QR code on every page. So yes, as a student at Duke Kunshan, you will spend the majority of your time in China. However, you do have the opportunity to spend a semester during your junior year at Duke University in North Carolina, or at one of our other global study abroad destinations. No matter where you end up spending that semester during your junior year, you will graduate with degrees from both Duke, which is accredited in the US, and Duke Kunshan, which is accredited in China. So Kunshan is considered to be a small city by Chinese standards, and I use air quotes because it's still about 2 million people, so there's a lot going on. Plus, within 20 minutes, you can get to both Suzhou and Shanghai. Suzhou is about the population of New York City, whereas Shanghai is one of the biggest cities in the world. And our students definitely take advantage of the location to explore both of those cities, to use Shanghai as a travel hub, to explore nightlife and restaurants and things like that. Our faculty also take students into both of these cities on field trips, career treks, and all sorts of cool opportunities. So Duke really felt that to solve some of these big global issues like economic issues, environmental issues, that students needed to have a truly international education. So they wanted to reinvent the traditional notion of a liberal arts and sciences curriculum by creating a truly experiential and interdisciplinary 4-year curriculum. So we basically have created an extra interdisciplinary curriculum by blending our disciplines, and I'll give you a glimpse into our majors in just a little bit. And all of those are housed within arts and humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences. But no matter what you're studying and what you end up majoring in, you'll study courses in each of those areas. And some are even team taught by faculty from multiple departments. We've really tried to focus on the experiential component by creating a 4+1 academic week. So classes are just Monday through Thursdays. Fridays are actually set aside for co-curricular education, like field trips that I mentioned earlier, those career treks that our Career Center brings students into Shanghai and Suzhou to visit big international companies there. There's some students use it for like I mentioned, research, but also volunteer work, travel opportunities. There's a lot of really cool ways to utilize those Fridays. And similarly, we have a pretty innovative semester schedule as well. We have what I consider to be kind of a hybrid between the US academic calendar and the Chinese higher education academic calendar, in that it runs from August to December, then there's a winter break and you come back from January to May. However, each semester is split into 2 7-week sessions. So you're only taking 2 to 3 classes at a time, and you still get off for Chinese holidays. So there's a lot of opportunities to explore China and explore the rest of Asia. And it's very affordable to do so once you're over there. These are those blended disciplines that I referred to. The underlined terms are the actual majors, and then the hollow bullet points underneath are the disciplinary tracks within that major. So for example, if you're majoring in global health, you'll choose between biology or public policy. Say you're interested in doing more of a pre-health program, maybe going to dental school or medical school or something like that later on, then the biology route may be a better fit for you. Whereas if you're more interested in doing like health advocacy, education, or maybe even working for the government, you may want to go the public policy route. But you don't actually declare a major till the end of your sophomore year. So there's plenty of time to take exploratory courses. And there's plenty of room in your schedule as well, because about 1/3 of your courses are electives. So not only is there room to explore, there's room to really combine your interests. And all of this information is online as well. So you'll find way more information about the majors there. We currently have students from over 60 nationalities represented. We're a pretty new institution, so I think that's impressive. We actually just started bringing in our undergrads in fall 2018. So we have our first senior class this year. We'll have our first graduates in May. So to me, 60 plus nationalities is huge, and they're just a really, really great group of students as well. These students have started over 60 student organizations that range from Model UN to club sports to a large LGBT student organization to music clubs to outdoor clubs, all sorts of fun things. And there's a lot of support for starting new student organizations if you want to take on a leadership role and create something that doesn't currently exist at DKU. We are on the Common App. It is a free application, and all students who apply are automatically considered for merit-based aid. You do need to submit your CSS profile to also be considered for need-based aid. And we do award up to 100% of tuition. So I highly encourage you to submit that CSS profile. We have 2 application rounds. The first is early decision, which is a binding application, and that deadline is November 1st, so that's right around the corner. And then the majority of our students apply for regular decision, which is due on January 4th. For those of you who are seniors, we are test optional this year, and we'll be making an announcement hopefully soon regarding future years. But as I mentioned, please reach out with any questions that you have. Check out our social media channels, particularly our YouTube channel, for more student created videos and information about DKU. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. To end up our evening, we have a few questions I want to put to our college reps to kind of give you all some advice for the evening. So if everybody could come back on the screen, and I'd love to kind of just get some advice to help everyone. And the question that we have, number one, and also if you answer this question in the order that we presented this evening, what kind of advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. I think that, all of us represent these really amazing opportunities for you to study outside of the US. And I think that's something that maybe you were not sure about, or if you weren't sure it was for you. So really do your research and know that we're here to help. A lot of us have, it sounds like, experience living and working in more than one country as well. I know I do. And so, we are good resources, both, of course, for the, academics and the logistics of moving to a new country, but feel free to ask us about our personal experiences as well, or we can always refer you to current students who might be able to help you make that decision too.
Yeah, I'll pipe in. Also kind of think about, how are you going to handle being away? Because these are all schools that are far. And so with everything going on right now, from one day to the next, something could change. So be kind of sure about where you want to go, research it, go see what we've got, what's available there. If it's important for you to have an American community in these areas, they are available. But if not, are you going to travel when you're there? Do you need to save for that when you're there? So think things like that. Like when I heard Duke speak, they give you Fridays. Well, we give you days too, but we provide tours. So you're going to have to kind of figure out when your time is going to be used for those kind of things. So kind of make a list of what do you want from this experience.
Yeah, and I would suggest as well, in a kind of more practical elements, is to check the university websites, because obviously during the current climate, everything is virtual now. So you will find virtual campus tours. You will be able as well to get in touch with student ambassadors who'll be able to tell you about their own experience as well. So these are all really useful resources that you can use, and go on social media, go on the university's YouTube sites, on TikTok, on Facebook, and just find out a little bit more that way as well about what true student experience is like at all these different institutions.
And I'd say my advice probably encompasses a little bit of what everyone has said. I think, like we've said already, all of us do have experience on our campuses or in the specific countries that we're in. So I'd say my first piece of advice would be to contact one of us and to get in touch and have that individual conversation, because we're going to be able to talk to you about campus, talk to you about programs, talk to you about living in that place. So that's going to be the first advice. And the other thing that kind of just to tack onto that is that we can also put you in touch with students like you who are from the US studying in another place. And so that you can get that firsthand student experience kind of conversation going as well.
That's all great advice. And I would kind of add on to that, just to stay open-minded. I know sometimes it can get a little overwhelming considering international institutions, whether it comes to just like the visa processes or the price tag, things like that. But there's a lot of factors to be considered. One, of course, like with us that I mentioned, we have financial aid, but also things like the cost of living in certain countries is significantly less. So really look at the big picture. And I think every single one of these ladies have said this, but definitely reach out to us and let us connect you with students too, because I think that there's just a lot of like questions that you might not want to ask us that the students would be happy to share with you, and happy to share their day-to-day lives and kind of their decision process and how they ultimately decided on the international school that they chose. So highly recommend just getting connected with as many people as possible.
Awesome. Great. All right. Next question before we end up closing off everything for the evening. What is one thing you want students to remember about your institution?
Great question. I think all of us talked a little bit about the city environment that our university is located in and how important that is. So I think, for U of T in specific, talking about the wonderful connections that we have with the city and the opportunities you have to explore. And I feel like I'm not being too presumptuous to say that everyone else would also like you to remember the cool things about the city where their university is located too.
I would just say for us at Strathclyde as well, and in particular in Scotland, is just to remember, if you are looking at universities in the UK, just be careful with the degree structure. And remember, for us, it's all about flexibility and breadth of study. So it will depend on what you're interested in, if that's something, or if you are looking at more specialist degrees, then perhaps England, Wales, Northern Ireland is a good fit for you. But it is about the good fit really for you.
I would also say the language. Like if you're going to be coming to a school like mine in Mexico, we need to make sure that you have good academic Spanish, not just I can order my dinner and I feel confident with that, because it will frustrate you and it will be harder for you. So, I mean, just kind of making sure that you're ready for the challenge that that's going to bring, having to do everything in the other language, writing a thesis, preparing and presenting, going and doing research, because they will ask a lot of you because this is a university.
And I'd say something to remember for Roehampton is obviously location. I think, Courtney, you're right. Location is going to be a key one here for all of us, particularly. The other thing I would say too is just the degree structure itself. So UK programs in general are great for students who know what they want to do. So that's something I'd say, remember, we have very practical degrees where you're going to have a lot of hands-on learning as well as classroom learning. So those are things that I think that are important to know as well.
And for Duke Kunshan, I would just like to point out that this is kind of in my opinion, like the best of both worlds when it comes to going to a US institution and going directly into a Chinese university. And one thing on that note that I'd like to point out is just that there is a lot of censorship when it comes to Chinese higher education, but that's not the case at DKU. We actually have a lot of special privileges as a joint venture that allows us to have complete academic freedom. So we're able to talk about what we want in the classroom and do research on what we want. And with that, we also have free and open internet. So many websites are blocked like Facebook and Google, but that is not the case on DKU's campus. And all of our students have VPNs. So even when they're off campus in China, they still have access to all the websites that you'd have access to here in the US. And as I mentioned earlier, you graduate with both a Chinese degree from Duke Kunshan and a US degree from Duke University.
All right, that was great information and wonderful, insightful things that you shared with this audience tonight. And as we close, just thank you all for coming to TACAC's Virtual College Fair this evening. And also make sure that when you leave this room, there will be a short survey that you'll finish up. And after that survey is complete, don't forget to sign up for other events that'll be happening this week as well. But from all of us tonight, thank you for coming and had a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you all for spending time with me. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.